Jai Gurudev and Namaste Madhu Raoji. It is a privilege to speak with you today. You have been at the helm of the Art of Living Trust for many years, guiding the organization through various phases of growth and change. Let's begin by talking about a principle that you have often mentioned. You cannot put a square peg in a round hole. Can you explain how this principle applies to the operations and expansion of the Art of Living Trust? Jai Gurudev, Namaste. It is my pleasure to be here and share insights into the work we do at the Art of Living Trust. The principle of you cannot put a square peg in a round hole is a simple yet profound one. It speaks to the importance of alignment, whether in people, tasks, or goals. In the context of the art of living, it is about making sure that we place the right people in the right roles. Over the years, we have seen our organizations grow rapidly, and with this growth comes the need to be very clear about who is suited for what role, whether it is a program manager, a teacher, or a volunteer. Each individual brings their own unique strengths to the table. It is about ensuring that the right resources are directed towards the right tasks for the collective good. This principle is embedded in everything we do, from the way we design our programs to how we structure our teams. That's an important perspective. The demands of the Art of Living Trust have increased significantly, especially as the organization has grown globally. How do you manage these growing demands with limited resources, especially during such unprecedented times? The increasing demands come with both challenges and opportunities. Over the years, the Art of Living has expanded its outreach, with more people seeking peace, spiritual guidance, and mental health support. However, we are mindful of the resources we have, both in terms of funding and manpower. The most important thing in such situations is efficiency. We have always focused on working smartly. This involves being extremely selective in how we allocate resources. For example, we have a strong volunteer base that is pivotal in helping us reach communities in need without overburdening the infrastructure of the trust. We have been able to tap into the power of technology. This is particularly important in the current times when digital platforms are essential for keeping our programs running. So, while our physical resources may be limited, technology has allowed us to scale our outreach exponentially. You mentioned the importance of technology in light of the COVID 19 pandemic. How has the Art of Living Trust leveraged technology to continue its work? The COVID 19 pandemic was a wake up call for all of us as an organization. We had to quickly pivot and adapt. Before the pandemic, most of our courses, events, and satsangs were held in person. But when the pandemic hit, we were forced to think creatively. Fortunately, we already had some experience with online platforms. We quickly transitioned our programs, including Sudarshan Kriya courses, online meditation sessions, and stress relief workshops, to virtual platforms. Our first priority was to continue providing the mental health support and spiritual guidance that people needed, especially during such uncertain times. When we began offering free online sessions to help people cope with the anxiety and stress caused by the pandemic, this transition allowed us to continue serving millions worldwide, including those who might not have had access to our physical centers. It's incredible how the organization adapted so quickly. Now that we are in a post pandemic world, what do you think is the key to maintaining the growth and relevance of the Art of Living Trust in the future? One of the key principles we follow is that the teachings of His Holiness Gurudev Shishi Ravi Shankar Ji are timeless. The essence of what we offer, breathing techniques, meditation, and wisdom for life, is as relevant today as it was centuries ago. So, our focus is on ensuring that these teachings continue to reach people in the most effective and accessible way possible. While technology plays a vital role, we must also be mindful of keeping the personal touch alive. In a world where everyone is increasingly going digital, the human connection remains at the heart of our work. As we look to the future, I envision a hybrid model, leveraging both online platforms for global reach and physical centers for deeper personal connections. We also plan to increase our focus on mental health, disaster relief, and rural development. These areas are not just a response to the pandemic, but part of a long term commitment to holistic well being. Could you elaborate on how the Art of Living Trust's approach to disaster relief, education, and rural development is contributing to positive change? Our humanitarian work is as crucial to us as our spiritual programs. The Art of Living's disaster relief efforts are well documented. During times of crisis, whether natural disasters or pandemics, our volunteers have been on the front lines providing food, medical aid, and emotional support to affected communities. One of the significant shifts in our approach has been to focus on long term empowerment, not just immediate relief. For example, we are heavily involved in providing education to children in underserved areas, ensuring that they receive not only academic support but also the tools for emotional and mental well being. Rural development is another area where we have made strides. We are helping to transform rural communities by introducing sustainable practices, improving access to healthcare, and empowering women. This work is a natural extension of the core values we teach: compassion, service, and empowerment. We believe that when individuals and communities are empowered, they are better equipped to face challenges and contribute to society. As someone who has seen the organization grow and evolve over the years, what are your hopes and aspirations for the Art of Living Trust in the coming decade? In the coming decade, I hope to see the Art of Living Trust continue to grow its global footprint and deepen its impact. Our mission is to create a stress free, violence free world. And as the world becomes more complex and interconnected, the mission becomes even more vital. I envision the Art of Living being an even more prominent force in shaping not just individual lives but society at large. One of the most important goals is to expand our reach to people who may not have access to the traditional forms of education or spiritual practice. I want to see the Art of Living Trust become a global movement for peace, health, and sustainable development. And most importantly, I want to see our work continuing to be guided by the teachings of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, wisdom that is as relevant today as it was when it was first imparted. Thank you so much, Madhu Rao ji, for your time and for sharing such deep insights into the mission and vision of the Art of Living Trust. Your leadership continues to inspire so many. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to speak with you today. We all have a role to play in creating a better world, and I'm grateful to be part of such a dedicated community. Let's continue to serve with love, wisdom, and compassion. Jai Gurudev. Namaste Madhurauji. It is an honor to speak with you today. Your leadership and vision have significantly shaped the Art of Living Trust's growth and impact. To start, I would like to ask you about a principle you have often referred to: you cannot put a square peg in a round hole. Could you elaborate on how this concept applies to the structure and functioning of the Art of Living Trust? Namaste, and thank you for your kind words. The principle of you cannot put a square peg in a round hole is fundamental to how we operate within the Art of Living Trust. It speaks to the importance of alignment, ensuring that people, tasks, and goals fit together in harmony. This applies to every aspect of our organization. For instance, we have a large network of volunteers and professionals who help run our programs globally. To ensure maximum impact, we place individuals in roles that best align with their unique skills, passions, and expertise. It is about finding the right fit for both the person and the task at hand. As we grow, it is even more crucial that we make smart, effective decisions about how we use our resources. Our success, in many ways, is due to our ability to adapt, be agile, and optimize the strengths of every individual involved, whether it is the leadership team, instructors, or volunteers. Ensuring the right person is in the right role makes a huge difference in delivering quality programs and services. You have mentioned before that the demands of the organization have greatly increased, especially in recent times. Given the challenges posed by the pandemic, how has the Art of Living Trust adapted to continue fulfilling its mission with limited resources? Yes, the demands have increased, but this has been also been a time for us to reflect and innovate. The COVID-19 pandemic was a global shock, but it also gave us an opportunity to rethink how we can be more resourceful. While it is true that we had to navigate through tough circumstances, we have always adhered to the principles of working smartly. The most important thing was to maintain the quality of our service and the reach of our programs despite the limitations. We were fortunate to already have strong technological capabilities in place, which allowed us to transition our courses, satsangs, and community service efforts online with great speed. In fact, the pandemic accelerated the digitization of many of our programs. We launched free online meditation sessions, stress relief programs, and live satsangs, which helped millions of people worldwide cope with the stress and uncertainty brought by the crisis. This technological leverage allowed us to overcome geographical barriers and reach people in remote areas who otherwise might not have access to our teachings. However, our work wasn't just about accepting and adapting to new mediums, it is about staying true to our missions regardless of the circumstances. We made sure our volunteers were equipped with the tools to stay connected with their communities, even if it was through virtual platforms. The pandemic indeed accelerated many changes, and the role of technology in scaling outreach has become evident. But as we move into a post pandemic world, what do you believe is the key to maintain the growth and relevance of the Art of Living Trust? As we look ahead, our focus is twofold: maintaining the timeless essence of our teachings while also innovating and adapting to contemporary needs. The teachings of His Holiness Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar Ji, Sudarshan Kriya, meditation breathing techniques, and the wisdom imparted in his talks remain as relevant today as they were when they were first shared. These timeless tools continue to help people deal with stress, anxiety, and emotional challenges. However, the world is changing rapidly, and we must keep pace. Our approach needs to be inclusive, accessible, and adaptable. While technology is an essential tool for scaling, it is equally important that we preserve the human connection that is at the heart of our work. I believe in a hybrid model going forward, where technology and physical presence complement each other. For example, we can continue offering online programs to reach people globally, but we must also invest in building strong communities through physical centers. Moreover, the post pandemic world has seen a surge in mental health challenges. People are increasingly looking for ways to deal with stress, anxiety, and emotional toll of modern life. This is where the art of living can play a significant role. We have already begun focusing more on mental health programs, offering support to individuals who are struggling. I foresee that in the coming years, the demand for holistic well being programs will continue to grow, and we will be at the forefront of this movement. You have spoken about the expansion of Art of Living Trust's global outreach and the need to innovate. What specific areas of the organization do you think need to evolve in order to meet the increasing demands and future aspirations? One of the key areas where we are focusing on evolution is mental health. Mental well being is no longer just an individual concern, it is a societal issue. As part of our mission to create a stress free, violence free world, we are expanding our work in the mental health sector. This includes programs that help with anxiety, depression, trauma recovery, and emotional regulation. We are also exploring partnerships with global organizations to enhance the reach and depth of our programs. Education is another area where we see growth potential. We have a strong foundation of educational initiatives in rural areas and urban slums. However, we are looking at expanding these efforts, particularly in the realm of emotional intelligence and leadership training for young people. Our leadership programs have already helped thousands of young individuals realize their full potential, and we intend to take this work to new heights. Additionally, sustainability will be a significant focus as an organization. We are committed to ensuring that our operations are in harmony with the environment. We are exploring ways to implement more eco friendly practices at our centers and encourage sustainable living within the communities we serve. Finally, I think there is an increasing need to focus on women's empowerment and youth leadership. These are two pillars that can bring about long lasting societal change. The Art of Living has always worked toward empowering women, and as we grow, we want to ensure that women and young people are provided with the tools to lead with compassion, wisdom, and strength. Those are incredibly important areas of focus. How do you envision Art of Living's role in the future of global service and humanitarian work? The future of global service is about holistic well being, spiritual, physical, and mental. The Art of Living has always been committed to humanitarian work, from providing disaster relief to improving education in underserved communities. Going forward, we see ourselves expanding this work significantly, particularly in regions where access to resources, education, and health services is limited. We are not just looking at relief during emergencies, but working on long term solutions that empower people to help themselves. I also foresee the Art of Living Trust playing a more prominent role in the intersection of spirituality and science. As a community, we have always embraced scientific validation for the techniques we teach. Sudarshan Kriya, for example, has been extensively studied and shown to have significant health benefits. Moving forward, we aim to strengthen our partnerships with research institutions to further explore how these practices can enhance mental and physical health on a global scale. It is inspiring to hear your vision for the future. Before we conclude, is there any final message you would like to share with the millions of followers and volunteers of the Art of Living? I would like to say that each one of us has the potential to make a difference. The Art of Living is not just an organization, it is a global movement rooted in the belief that peace and well being are the birthright of every individual. As we continue our work, I urge everyone to stay connected to their inner wisdom, to serve with love, and to share the tools of transformation with others. It is through collective efforts that we will create the peaceful, compassionate world we all strive for. When you work from your heart, the world comes together. This is the essence of what we do. Let's continue to work from our hearts and make the world a better place for everyone. Thank you so much, Madhu, for sharing your vision, insights, and wisdom. Your leadership continues to inspire so many, and we are confident that the Art of Living Trust will continue to grow and impact lives in a positive and meaningful way. Thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts. It is always a pleasure to reflect on our journey and the wonderful work we are doing together. Jai Gurudev.